talk presentation.
Yeah, my name is Connor Smith, and before I start, I'd like to give one more Go Tigers for the 8-year drought that we've been in. So today I'm going to talk about my summer internship. It was at a polypropylene plant in Garyville called Pinnacle Polymers. I'm a quick overview. I'm going to talk about an introduction, what the plants do, what they create, the products obviously, the equipment they use between pumps, compressors, heat exchangers. The process is how you come from getting the natural resources and then creating a polymer. The projects I personally worked on and any final remarks I had once I finished. So first, petrochemical plants receive natural resources. That's crude oil, natural gas, ores, and minerals, and they process that into products such as ethylene, propylene, those two, I don't know how to say them. And essentially, these are going to be the building blocks of your polymers. Specifically, I worked with ethylene and propylene, but obviously you can do much more with the other two and then more. So from those, like I said, polymers can be made. You have polyethylene, which is a low strength, low hardness, low friction, and low rigidity, but it has high ductility and high impact strength. Polypropylene, which is what I work with personally, is a semi-rigid, chemical resistant, heat resistant, fatigue resistant. Polyvinyl chloride is very dense, it's cheap, high hardness, good tensile strength. And polystyrene is a high rigidity, relatively hard, electrical resistant, but it's poor chemically resistant. And just a few of the applications, aerospace, military, like the helmets they use and such, 3D printing, your fillers, your main models, and electronics, they do circuit boards, they print the circuit board. So here's the equipment. This is just a large overview of a typical polypropylene plant. Here you'll see your first reactor, and that's only if you're making a single polymer. If you're going to combine it with another one like polypropylene, you'll take the product from the first generator, bring it to the second generator, and it will make a copolymer. That is then ran through conveyor lines up to your pelletizer plant, and it goes through several processes, and it's then cut into small little pellets. It looks like little rubber balls almost. So here's a more in-depth look through the process. You have your raw material handling. That's your ethylene, propylene, and they also include a few others that I can't remember off the top of my head. Then feeds to your reaction system. And they add a catalyst inside of it, and the reaction starts on a fluidized bed. That then goes to the flare. Your extra goes to your flare, and you ideally would like to circulate some back into the process to up your efficiency. Your reaction then goes to the resin purging, and that's basically condensing it more, and it'll go down into your pelletizing, and this is your additive, so if you wanted more chemically resistant, more heat resistant, stuff like that. And then you go to your pelletizer, and then it's essentially a sheet of knives that run back and forth over little holes, and it cuts into small pellets. Ideally, the pellets you want to see are a centimeter in diameter probably, and you want them as opaque as possible. When you start seeing little air bubbles in it, that means you have an upset in your process, and the customer obviously won't be happy with that. Additionally, if you see some stringing, that can occur also, and your customer won't be able to do anything with that, as it's harder for them to basically transform into what they want it to be. So projects I personally worked on, I was the main point of contact for several enhancement projects. I had to do pump replacements, additive feeder redesign, what we saw on the last slide. And there was an issue with the conveying system. I had to go out there, take some thermal imaging, and talk to some vendors about how we would fix it. For the additive feeder replacement, specifically it was like the seals we were working on. And these two kind of go together. We went through a process once every 5 years that you do, and you review all your safety and process, and you basically grill it as much as you can to see, hey, is there anything we can do better? Is there anything we're missing? And so on and so forth. So final remarks, to be honest, the 2 months I spent, or 2.5, 3 months I spent over the summer there was probably more useful than a year and a half I could have spent in school. I learned so much, just with general field experience, how the equipment works, what each of them does, the process of this, standard codes and practices that they do. What else? Oh, and general office life, how you interact between people, between email, talk. You know, if you got a question, when you go approach them, when's a good time and when's not. And these are my sources. Any questions? Thank you.